Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Billy D. Hillier Stadium here on the campus of Faulkner University in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm Judd Bailey alongside Will Lucas, ready to bring you the action for today's Futures football game, something we haven't seen on campus since the year 2016. At that time, I'm pretty sure I would have been in 5th grade.
Yeah, I was, I would have been 14 at the time, so this was quite a long time ago.
It's been a while. We should have a bunch of action for you here today, of course, with the Faulkner Futures, and then we've got Georgia Prep Academy. The Georgia Knights are here. These two teams have never squared off. Should be a fun one here today. Band is finishing up their opening routine. Players ready to run out for the coin toss. We'll bring you all the action in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back after that short break. Faulkner won the toss, elected to defer to the second half, so Georgia will start with the football here this afternoon. We apologize in advance. Rosters and names are a little bit mismatched, so we're going to do our best for you watching at home, looking for your kid, your relative, your player. We're going to do our best to be able to communicate that to you. Here at the Futures game, this isn't a game that's going to count on record, so a lot of players should get a lot of reps today, should see it like that in both ways. On Georgia's schedule, they have already played 2 games. Not sure if we have any record of those games, don't know how they're playing, so this is going to be a new experience for all of us, especially us two in the booth doing our first game. Should be a lot of fun this afternoon. Will, what are you most excited to see?
I'm excited to see our guys play, and I'm excited to see just the growth and development that they have through this game, because what these games represent and what they mean to these players are ways for you to develop and ways for you to just continue to grow and mature as a player. And because game experience is the best experience. You can practice all you want, but getting those game reps are so vital.
Yeah, absolutely. This time last week, Faulkner was headed into the weekend 1-0 after a big rivalry win against Point in the Battle of I-85. The team is on a bye week right now before they head to Thomas next Saturday to play Game 2 of the season. You see a lot of the guys out there supporting the Futures team, which is great to see, especially for team chemistry, for the bonding and the relationship of the team, which is what you always like to see. It will be a fun one here today, looking to kick off in a moment. Welcome back. The ball is teed up. Both teams on the field ready to get this Game 1 of the future season underway. Ball is kicked deep, received at about the 7-yard line, setting up the wedge return. Returner tries to get to the outside, brought down by a host of Eagles just past the 20. Georgia will start their possession at the 22-yard line. This Faulkner defense in Thursday night's game against Point did not surrender a touchdown. Will, what are you expecting to see from this Futures defense as well?
You know, you're going to see similarities in the style of play. Coach Brown, he really emphasizes winning the line of scrimmage, and he's a defensive minded head coach, and so I'm gonna want to see a lot of similarities here this afternoon.
Georgia comes out here in a 5-wide look. Quick little hitch route. Bouncing off tacklers. First down for Georgia on the first play of the game. In at quarterback, number 2, Riley Scruggs. Already 1 for 1 on the day for him. This Faulkner defense that played so well against the run last week is coming out against the 5-wide. These DBs are probably going to have the pressure on them all game. Right back in it on the 5-wide again. Scruggs relaying the calls. Trips to the bottom side of your screen. Scruggs, quick drop, hits the slant route over the middle of the field. Good gain there for Georgia, about an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, it was a good catch, good run from the receiver after the catch, but it was a good job by the DBs by keeping the guy in front of him, not letting him get a good angle on him and keeping the guy in front of you.
2nd and 3 here for Georgia. Running back now in the backfield. Faulkner playing their 4-2 in the box. Scruggs handoff. Running back slips. Faulkner's got a big third down here. Can get off the field early. That's what you talked about earlier. Winning the line of scrimmage, as Coach Brown always says. Not sure if that was winning the line of scrimmage there, or maybe a little bit of luck and the running back getting himself tripped up in the backfield, but either way, you're going to take it.
That's right. The D-line, they're always gonna take that one as a win right there. They definitely imposed their will there and caused the running back to quickly second guess himself there.
Scruggs went for the deep ball there on 3rd and 4, just out of reach of Blake Bose, and it's going to be 4th down for Georgia. Looks like the punt team's going to trot out onto the field here. You know, that Georgia drive showed a lot of promise early. What'd you see from the defense to adjust?
You know, they were it did seem like they had a good rhythm going, and if the running back doesn't trip there, we could be talking about it completely differently, right? So it was just a good job by the defense to, not to worry, not to stress, and they did a great job there by forcing this punt.
Snap lofted back. Sky high kick. It's going to hit the ground at about the 35-yard line, and a great Georgia roll all the way inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. Faulkner will take over from there. We'll be back in a moment. The Faulkner Eagle offense takes over at the 9-yard line for their first drive of the year. They've got a ways to go. Trips toward the field, one-on-one into the boundary, running back in the backfield. Quarterback number 16, Seth Lieburn. He's got a free play here. He's going to take a shot. Number 85 can't get there. Looks like we're going to have an offsides penalty there. Waiting for confirmation from the side judge. It is offsides against Georgia. Great job right there with the free play, taking a shot. It's now going to be 1st and 5.
Yeah, anytime you can get the defense to go off sides, just throw it up to one of your perimeter receivers. He's out there somewhere.
He's out there somewhere.
He's out there somewhere.
Players are going to make plays, so you always got to give your guys a shot. 1st and 5, Lieburn catches the snap. Going to flip it out to number 43, and it's dropped. Looks like he tried to turn and get upfield before he caught the ball, kind of left it there.
Yeah, he's going to wish he could have that one back.
Yeah, absolutely. He had nothing but green grass ahead of him. Now 2nd and 5. You're still technically in the positive. You had a 5-yard gain on, first down. You got to redo it. So nothing to worry about from the offense here in 2nd and medium. First handoff of the afternoon. Great blocks from the offensive line. First down for the Eagles. Faulkner going with a little bit of tempo here. Ball's on the 22-yard line. Lieburn catches a snap. Another handoff to number 28. Great blocks from the receivers, and he's out and running. Safety somehow reaches him, tears him out of bounds. Big gain there from the Eagles, out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Those are two great runs there by number 28. On both of those runs, great blocking, but also having a fight, right? He's not going down on the first tackle attempt. So great job by number 28.
Absolutely. One of my coaches used to always say you got to win the one-on-ones, and so far he's winning the one-on-ones. It's taking 2, 3, 4 guys to bring him down every time he carries the football. 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line. Lieburn catches a snap. Back to number 28. Cuts inside. Gets to about the 50-yard line. Defense probably sniffing it out there after the past 2 runs. Brings us to 2nd and 7. Faulkner going to a different look. Lieburn still in the gun. Split receivers to both sides of the formation. Number 28 motions out. Great job flipping it to number 43, who dropped one earlier. Bouncing off tacklers. He's still up. He's still going to the 30. All the way down to the 24-yard line in Georgia territory. Great job there from number 43.
Well, I'd say he definitely made up for that dropped pass earlier. And then, just not willing to go down. Showing that toughness. Great great run after the catch for number 43.
And you see, number 43 definitely knew he could do that. It's just the first time he left without getting the ball first. And so great to see him make sure he looks it in right there before he gets upfield. Trips now to the top of your screen. Lieberman in the backfield. The maestro of this offense going right down the field. Quick out route to number 85. Down inside the 20. Looking at about second and 1. Great job by Lieberman there delivering the ball. Took a big hit from the linebacker on the blitz.
Yeah, Lieberman's doing a really good job showing command of this offense, and he's making the right reads, getting it to his guy quick, and letting them make the play.
Absolutely. Handoff to number 39 there. A little bit of an inside zone. Gets them about 4 yards now on the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Remind you, this drive started on the 9-yard line. So they've, just marched their way down the field, especially with this big running attack. Play action pass, Lieberman to the end zone, overthrew him. He had his man. Just overthrown to the back of the end zone. 85 on the post ball. Got great separation, just couldn't get the ball there.
Yeah, if he could have just put that down just a little bit lower, that's right on the money.
Absolutely. We could have been hearing the band playing for the first time this season for the Futures football team. Handoff to number 39 inside. Big hit by number 44 for Georgia, Devontae Clay. Clay, great job there shedding his block, making the tackle.
Yeah, it was a good run inside, but those holes, they can close in on you very quickly. What looked like could have been a promising run there, the lineman shed the block and closed it up very quickly.
3rd and 5 on the 8-yard line. The Eagles knocking on the door. A little bit of a jet sweep. Big tackle from number 30. Marcus Tutt, big play right there. 17 looked like he was going to take it around and into the end zone if it wasn't for Tutt.
Yeah, what a great open field tackle. That's what you have, coaching. You prioritize those open field tackles, and those are so clutch because number 17, he's quick. So great open field tackle, having that discipline and awareness.
Number 92 lefty kicker Hayden Wynn in. His kick is up and good. The Eagles will start this opening drive getting 3, and they lead 3-0 with 7:40 left in the first quarter. We will be back in just a moment. The Eagles went down the field, unfortunately couldn't punch it in the end zone in the red zone, and they settled for 3. Another kick. This one caught at about the 2-yard line, bringing it out. And a host of Eagles there to down him at the 12-yard line. Great job by the coverage team there, and Georgia will have the ball to begin their second drive of the game. Will, what did you see on that first drive from the Eagles that really stood out to you?
Number 28, the running back. He did just a very good job at finding the holes and getting the team down the field. Also, I was really impressed with Seth Lieberman, showing that command of the offense and being methodical and just getting it to the guys quickly and letting them make a play.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see Georgia back in that 5-wide formation. Scruggs still in the gun. catches a snap, dropping back to pass, having to roll out because of pressure, and he's going to go out of bounds for a little 2-yard gain, make it a 1-yard gain at the 15-yard line. Great pressure there from number 97, Tyler Brown, one of the captains for this Eagles football team.
Yeah, that's a point of emphasis, as we discussed. Winning that line of scrimmage and just wreaking havoc, making the quarterback's life miserable.
3-by-1 look in the formation, running back in the backfield. Scruggs, quick hitch route. Nothing going there. DB's playing tight coverage. Great tackle by number 30, Davion Jackson. Got a 3rd and 7 here for Georgia. You see, Georgia came out and they looked good in their first couple plays. And like we said earlier, the running back slipped, and it's kind of just flipped the momentum, especially for this defense.
It certainly does look like that play has flipped the script. And, you know, it's weird. Like you said, it looked like they had great momentum, and as they just made a pass here, you know, it was just short. But it's definitely something to look into for sure.
Quick hitch route left just short of the line to gain. Now 4th and 2 for this Georgia team as they bring out the punting team. Last punt we saw from Georgia had not a very long kick, but a great bounce and a great roll, rolling all the way inside the 10. We'll see what the punter can do here. Lofted back there, coming after it. Can't get there in time. A little bit of a shank there. Stops rolling about the Faulkner 49-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will take over to start drive number 2 of the game. Eagles huddling up. Looks like we're going to see Lieburn back in again. Lieburn led that first drive all the way down for 3 points. Eagles coming out in a 3-by-1 look. 28 still in the backfield. Quick handoff, bouncing it outside. Great block from the receiver up top, and he's off and running. Pushed out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Another big run from number 28.
Yeah, once again, just seeing that ball carrier vision. Just seeing how he's able to see the field, see the open hole. And, of course, you have to thank your O-lineman for getting those holes open for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just the O-lineman, but the blocking by the receiver up top. As we see him going at it again. However, it looks like we might have a holding penalty, and it might be coming back. 28 running the ball well to start the game. We'll see what the penalty is. Yes, it's a holding call. Unfortunately, I guess we had the announcer jinx inevitably, talking about how great of a blocker he was.
Right.
Unfortunately, couldn't keep his hands inside there. But still, nonetheless, I mean, he's doing a great job not only of blocking, but of faking his routes, releasing off the line to get the DB following, and that's allowing the running back to pick up 8, 9, 10 yards, especially once he gets into that second level.
Yeah, blocking for your receivers, you know, you're not going to be going out for a pass every play. Being an unselfish player, being willing to block, it just really helps open up the offense and get everyone involved.
Screen pass there, dialed up very well on the Georgia blitz. Picks up about 7 yards, almost back to the chains. Number 39 there, Dylan Smith. Lieburn getting the signals in, communicating with his own line. Still in the trips look to the right side. Lieber catches the snap. Quick hitch route up top. Brought down by number 11, Caden Burnett for the Knights. Going to be a 3rd and long here for the Eagles. Unfortunately, having to play behind the sticks there with the holding penalty.
Yeah, that penalty definitely did not help the Eagles out, but I'm expecting to probably see a deep shot here, right? Trying to get, if not to the end zone, and never mind, just completely do what I not say, all right?
Hey, that's why we don't call the plays. That's why we're up here calling the game. Great carry there by Dylan Smith to pick up the first down, keep the drive rolling. And, I mean, maybe that's what Georgia was thinking. Georgia was thinking what both of us were thinking, playing deep, trying not to give up the first down, especially not an end zone shot. So the offense dials up a stretch play, cuts it back inside, picks up 9, and we've got a 1st and 10 in the red zone. Liebern in the gun. Twins receivers to the top of the formation. Counter play, sniffed out perfectly by Tutt, coming screaming off the edge. He makes the play for about a loss of 1.
Yeah, great effort there by Tutt.
We're almost through the first quarter of this game, and we've been saying his name a lot, partially because we don't have all the rest of the roster, but also because he's making a lot of plays early.
That's right.
2nd and 11 here for the Eagles in the red zone. Their first red zone trip, they came away with 3 points, looking to punch this one in. Speed option to the field, pitches to Smith. Smith's going to go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Faulkner Eagles.
Great pitch there by Liebern, and just great speed there by Dylan Smith. But also, that touchdown is possible because of your blocking. Number 88.
Not Austin Gregory.
Not Austin Gregory.
But that's the one on the list.
But number 88 had that great upfield block that was responsible, that helped get that touchdown, that helped make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, they've been running inside zone, counter, stretch. And they finally faked it and went back to the weak side with all the defense crashing. That's a great job by the offensive coordinator, being able to see that and then use his playmakers, get them in space. And that's what happens when you get your playmakers in space. Faulkner leads 10-0 with 2:15 left in the first quarter. We'll be back in a moment. Hayden Wynn back to kick off, boots it deep. Return team just going to let this one bounce into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles have a 10-0 lead with 2:15 left in the first quarter. Will, talk to me about that last drive.
I mean, Dylan Smith. Dylan Smith was the X factor of that drive. His vision and just reading the holes that the offensive line and the receivers gave him the opportunity to run down the field and eventually to score that touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job there, especially from your guys up front. Line, especially on the stretch plays and the counters, but being able to get a hat on a hat up front, being able to push the line of scrimmage and winning line of scrimmage like we've talked about so much early in this game. Scruggs a handoff there. Defensive line all over it. Tackle made 2 yards. Looks like a 2-yard gain for the Knights.
Just nowhere to go. He's trying to wiggle his way through, trying to find an open lane, but credit our defensive line here, for Faulkner's defensive line here, that they are just winning that line of scrimmage and not giving him anywhere to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like after the run play, Georgia's going to be back to that 5-wide look, which works so well the first couple plays of drive number 1. Scruggs handing out signals. Looks like the Eagles showing blitz. They'll drop back into coverage. Quick to the flat route. Number 14 with the catch. Makes a few people miss. Picks up the first down, and the Knights are moving.
Yeah, great play by the receiver there. Not willing to go down, fighting for that extra yardage so that he can get his team moving forward and get those chains moving.
1st and 10 now for the Knights. Scruggs dealing early. Been able to complete a lot of his passes. From memory, the one incompletion we saw was the deep shot they took on 3rd down. 2 receivers to the bottom of your formation along with a tight end, number 89 coming in motion. Scruggs, the read option. Gets pushed out of bounds there at the 43-yard line. Great job there seeing the defensive end crash, pull it, get to the outside and into some space.
Yeah, that's something that we haven't seen yet from the Knights, and so that's doing the read option. You always got to pay attention to that, as you said, that defensive end. If he crashes, that's when you know you got to pull it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you're taught to run the read option, you're replacing where the defender came from, and he did exactly that, making sure he doesn't run too far into where the rest of the defensive is and not too far out as he drops back to pass here over the middle of the field. Caught by number 14, making a few people miss. Almost lost the football, able to hang on. And Blake Boast with the catch there, moving the chains to the 34-yard line of the Eagles.
Yeah, great job there, attacking the middle of the zone, and just in the middle of the defense, and finding that open space. Great job by the receiver and making people miss to get to about the 35-yard line, 34.
Faulkner leads 10-0 at the end of the first. We'll be back in a moment. Flipping ends of the field here. Georgia driving on the 34-yard line of the Eagles. Hands off to number 5. Met by a host of Eagles, pushed back, going nowhere for a loss of 1.
Bottled up. Let's see, looked to be like number 96 there. Cliff Edwards, it looked like he just went straight through. You know, just uncontested, or at least he just got straight through and wreaked havoc and got that tackle for loss for the running back there.
Back to the 5-wide formation that seems to cause the Eagles a little bit of trouble. Scruggs bringing Washington in motion. Catches the snap. Sending a little bit of heat. Got the mesh route. Can't make the play there, and he's off and running. Brought down at about the 10-yard line. Tackle made by number 47. All the way down inside the 10. Got 1st and goal.
Yeah, it was a great catch there. And just being able to have that speed and just to get out to the outside, being able to outrun your would-be tacklers. But great tackle by the defense there, the safety there that was in position.
Went to the split back, motioning out. Scruggs catches the snap. He's going to pull it. Number 27's there. Great job by number 27, Ty Smith, able to make the play, bring him down. Great job there hanging on and waiting for everybody else to get there, especially forcing them back inside to the rest of your defense. Georgia sending in some fresh legs. Scruggs awaiting the play call. 2 minutes into this second quarter. Eagles still lead 10-0. Play clock down, and Scruggs is going to have to call a timeout there. Couldn't get the play call in fast enough. Trying to avoid the 5-yard loss and stay within striking distance.
Yeah, great awareness there by Scruggs, noticing the play clock and not getting himself in a situation where you're losing yardage there.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense hopefully looking to bend and not break here like we saw last Thursday against Point, especially early on in this game.
Yeah, what a great game that was against Point. The defense played very well, not allowing a touchdown. The offense looked great at times. It was honestly one of the more complete games that I've seen Faulkner play. And what about Huff as well? Jacob Huff setting the program record for the longest field goal. Just what a great game to start the season.
Absolutely. This Faulkner team's gonna have a lot of tests coming up in this season. They play 5 ranked opponents all in conference play, especially if they're wanting to make that postseason. They're gonna have to start to put it all together. But we're focused on this game right now. Scruggs with 2 receivers to top of the formation, fakes a handoff, fade ball to the end zone. Caught and dropped. Great coverage there by number 47, fighting through the hands and getting the ball out of both hands.
Yeah, that's exactly how you play that ball. The receiver, he's in a great position. He's got the ball, but great awareness by the DB of getting his hand there and forcing the incompletion.
Absolutely. That's why you always play to the end of the play, because if he would have stopped when the receiver came down with the football, we would be looking at a touchdown and the Knights running their PAT unit out. The Knights in the 5-wide look, 3rd down, 7 yards to reach the end zone. Scruggs bringing Boast in motion, catches the snap. Big pass rush there, having to get rid of it to Boast. Number 25, Denzel McNeil is there to make the play. Big hit there. Boast thought he had it all the way to the end zone. McNeil coming out of nowhere to make the play. Brings up 4th down for the Knights.
Huge tackle there. Huge touchdown-saving tackle there by number 25 there. And now the Knights are going to have a decision to make.
Looks like they're going to go for it. 5 wide still out there. Faulkner defense could end up with a big stop here. Lining up one-on-one across the board. Looks like the Eagles might be sending some pressure, bringing some motion in. Scruggs trying to weave through it. They send 6. Big tackle there from looks like number 97, the senior, Tyler Brown, in to make the play, and Faulkner gets the goal line stand.
I mean, what have we been talking about all day today? Winning the line of scrimmage. Scruggs had no time to throw the ball, and Tyler Smith just did a great job, or Tyler Brown, great job at forcing that pressure and not giving him enough time to pass the ball and try to get this touchdown, to get his team this momentum that they were having. This was a great drive, but they just weren't able to come through with it.
Got a new quarterback in. Can't tell what number it is. Looks to be number 13. Drops the snap, has to fall back on it, picks it up, looking to get a little bit of a gain back.
Yeah, number 13 looks to be Grayson McManus, freshman out of Thorsby, Alabama. Thorsby High School.
Had a little bit of trouble with the snap there. Was a little high. Might have taken his eye off it with the motion. Sets him behind the sticks at 2nd and 19, or about 18. Catches the snap there. Flips it out on the bubble. Just overthrows his receiver. And we're looking at third and 18 here early. 2 quick plays. Just like you said, defense brought them all the momentum back, but one slip up, and it seems the momentum might be shifting back to the Knights. Tight formation here for the Eagles. 2 receivers into the boundary. McManus catches the snap. Looks like we're going to have a penalty. Looks to be a false start on the offensive line. The penalty is waived. Looks like we might have had maybe an incidental whistle. Formation back set up. McManus in the gun. Catches the snap. Looks like we got a QB run. He's going to try and get to the outside. Met by a host of Knights there for a loss of 1. It's going to be 4th and 19 for the Eagles.
The Knights did a great job of defense on this drive. The offense had got them down the field, and the Knights defense didn't allow that negativity to be brought to their side of the field. They still fought, and they forced this punt here. And so now maybe that offense can still try to find that spark and maybe put some points on the board.
Number 63 back to punt. Zion Henderson catches it, boots it away. Great punt there. Boast catches it on the 51, turning around, looking to get loose. Coverage by the Eagles is there. Sheds one defender, brought down on the 46-yard line. Flag on the play. Looks like it was on the coverage. Tackle made by number 30, Davion Jackson. Someone whose name we've said a lot of as well today, making big plays in the secondary. Waiting to see what the penalty was. Personal foul, illegal blindside block on Georgia. They're going to move them back 15 yards from the spot of the from the end of the return, rather. Referee's going to move them back. 10-16 left to play in this first half. The Faulkner offense, who we've seen pretty much have their way in this game, unfortunately got behind the sticks early and wasn't able to make anything come from it.
Yeah, when you start out with negative plays and penalties that cause you to get behind the sticks, it's very difficult to overcome that for sure.
Quick handoff to number 31, Quadarius Person. Tackle made by number 97, Tyler Brown, and a host of Eagles as well. 2nd and 9 here. Two-by-two look for this Knights offense. Scruggs catches the snap. Handoff again to Person. Met by all of the Eagles defense. Going nowhere. He was able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
All I got to say is that if I was running the ball, I would not want to be running against this defense. I would not want to have to run into Tyler Brown.
Yeah.
That is one guy that I do not want to mess with. I want to go to the outside. I don't want to be running in the inside against him for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been pretty much doing whatever he wants up front so far. They got him right there to jump off sides, however, wasn't watching the ball. That's going to move them 5 yards closer to the first down, going to set up a 3rd and 4. Officials coming to talk about it. Not sure what there is to talk about. Some Faulkner players pointing at them. Looks like, just kidding, we're going to have a false start there. Wasn't on Brown. Brown saw somebody move, made him flinch. This is going to be a false start, push them 5 back. Going to be 3rd and 14 here for the Knights. Scruggs looking to the sideline to get the call. We've seen him throw it well thus far. However, he's not thrown very well under pressure.
No, and he's been under pressure quite a bit today. Tyler Brown and the Eagles D-line has done a great job at disrupting his timing to try to get those passes off to his receivers.
Exactly, just like we saw there. Faulkner sent the heat. A little bit of miscommunication on the blocking up front. Scruggs just had to throw it away and get rid of it. And that'll bring up 4th and 14. Number 47, Alex Dalmedia, back to punt again. We've seen him punt twice already today, one with a big roll, the other one just about a 20, 30-yard punt. Davion Jackson back to punt. Way short. Going to get a little bit of a roll. Big roll. Ball's going to be down at about the 33-yard line, and the Eagles offense is going to go back to work.
Like the Knights tried to push number 30 into the ball. You see that. You don't see that too often, but it does happen every now and then, trying to get the guy to touch the ball so that you can recover it.
Yeah, absolutely. Muff punts happen a lot, but officials pushing teams back to their sidelines. Not sure exactly what's going on. Might have possibly a heat timeout.
And it is hot today. It's a hot 88 here in Montgomery.
Looks like it will be a heat timeout. We'll step away for a moment. Back after the heat timeout, McManus back in at QB again. Hopefully he settled the nerves from drive number 1. Looking to have possibly a screen pass drawn up there. He was going to throw it. Probably saw nothing there, and that's what ended up him spiking it into the ground.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to throw it, and he hesitated, and the ball kind of just slipped out.
Two-by-two look for the Eagles, running back in the backfield. McManus communicating with his O-line. Looks like we've got a power option running out there with him. Great job carrying out the fake from McManus. That'll push number 37, Demetrius Davis, past the sticks for a first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, great job selling the fake there. He almost had me fooled. He thought that he had kept it, but great job at giving the ball to the running back to get that first down.
7 minutes to play here in this second quarter. Gives it back to Demetrius Davis. He fights off a few tacklers, gets all the way to the 49-yard line, almost getting his way into Knight territory.
Faulkner has a nice stable of backs here, don't they? You know, you have Demetrius Davis, you have Dylan Smith, number 39, and then you also have number 28. We don't have his
It's Austin Crittenden.
Austin Crittenden. Just all three have made great and explosive plays this afternoon.
Yeah, shout out to the guys up front, like we've said already. They're really winning this line of scrimmage. Davis looked to slip there, saw the hole, couldn't get there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. McManus getting the signals from the sideline. The Eagles bringing it into a tight formation. Bunch 2-by-2 on both sides with Davis and McManus in the backfield. McManus over the middle of the field, complete for a first down, bouncing off tacklers and inside Knight territory down to the 36-yard line. Great play by Cooper Butler there. Getting over the middle of the field, McManus delivering the ball to him. First down, Eagles.
Yeah, great play there. Just finding the open spot in the middle of the field and shows his toughness there, too. I mean, he took a shot.
Yeah, we've seen this Eagle run game just ground and pound their way all the way down the field. They finally dropped back to pass, and it seems the Knights were just out of position there. Going back to Butler, throwing a little bit behind him.
Looks like a player's down on the field.
Got a player down there. Trainer's going to tend to him. Will step away. Glad to see the injured player for the Knights get up and walk off the field under his own strength.
Yeah, it looked like he may have been just a bit dehydrated. The heat definitely will get to you here in Montgomery for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, especially playing on this turf field. Yeah, he definitely got to him. They got him off the field. Play will resume. Good to see him up and moving. Back to the drive here, 2nd and 10. McManus still in the gun. Catches a snap there, hands off to number 32. Another back we haven't seen so far today, number 32, Amari Griffin, with the carry and the first down to the 25-yard line of the Knights.
Yeah, the Faulkner O-line is just doing a really great job. It doesn't seem to really matter which running back they have on the field. They're all just doing a great job at opening the holes for all of them. And they're all doing a great job with their vision of just seeing the holes that the O-line is opening up for them and taking advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, great job there. He saw the hole, bounced it outside. Looks like maybe the receiver had his hands just a little too long on the DB, got a holding call. It's going to bring him back 10 yards, 1st and 20 now. But like we saw earlier, this offense has played well all day, playing behind the sticks. Probably won't be an issue, but, you never want to have a negative play because it can kill a drive like we saw for the Knights in drive number 1.
Exactly right. And like we saw on McManus's first drive, those negative plays and negative circumstances of penalties will definitely kill a drive. And it looks like Austin Crittenden's back in the game, so good to see him and see what he can do for this offense.
Yeah, snap was rolled backwards. Great job by McManus picking it up. Got hit at about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Kept his feet moving. Offense line got behind him and pushed him all the way to the 25-yard line. Be 2nd and 10 now. Looks like a little bit of a heavier formation up front. Got 2 tight ends in the game, along with Crittenden in the backfield. Twins receivers to the top of the formation. Quarterback run there, a little bit of miscommunication between McManus and Crittenden, not sure which way to go. Got a flag on the play. Looks like we might have another hold. It will be. Holding on the Eagles once again. Be another 10-yard penalty replay, 2nd down.
Yeah, those holding calls, those will definitely, they definitely don't help. Getting pushed back. We're now at 2nd and 20, so hopefully, we can just see him try to get a little bit of it back. You don't have to try to get it all in one play. Just be smart, be methodical, and try to get it back a little bit at a time.
2nd and 18. McManus is going to drop back to snap. Screen pass, dialed it up perfectly. Blocks can't get out there. Had 2-on-2. Great job by Tutt for the Knights, making the play, getting around the blocker. They dialed up the blitz at the dialed up the screen at the perfect time with the blitz coming.
Right. Yeah, great awareness there by McManus. Great route, setting up the screen for Smith. Just the blocks weren't developed right, and so just great play there by the Knights and great awareness and discipline of staying in your zone.
Looks like we got a timeout here. Timeout, Georgia. 3rd and 14. 3rd and 14 when we come back. 10-0 Eagles. Back out of the timeout, 3rd and 14 here for the Eagles. 2 receivers to the bottom of the formation into the boundary. McManus in the gun. Catches a snap, going back to that speed option play, getting out there, pitches it behind Smith. Picks up his own pitch, going back the other way. Eventually tracked down by Marcus Tutt, who makes the play once again. Going to be 4th and very long here. Knocks them out of field goal range.
Yeah, McManus was in a tough spot there because the Knights did a great job at covering the speed option. He didn't have any running room for himself, and they were also covering Smith very well as well. So when he pitched it, it was a bad pitch. It was behind him, but he didn't really Smith didn't have anywhere to go as well. And so credit the Knights defense there. And you would have preferred to see McManus maybe just try to hold on to the ball there and take the less loss of yardage that possibly you keep yourself in field goal range.
Yeah, going into the 2-minute timeout, if you just kind of put your head down there, maybe pick up 1 or 2, you're still in field goal range. You can give the kicker a chance, but like you said, the bad pitch just kind of pushed them out of field goal range. Now they're going to have to punt this ball to the Knights. The Knights have 1 timeout. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, going to have to get in a quick 2-minute drill to try to go down and get some points. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, 4th and 26 here for the Eagles. Saw 2 holding penalties, then the backwards pitch. Bolts underneath the punt. Fair catches it on the 10-yard line. Late flag coming in. Minute 53 left to play. We'll see what the flag is. Look to be maybe some extracurriculars going on after the play. Officials going to come huddle together. Faulkner's defense trotting out onto the field. Definitely was a dead ball foul. Looks like it's going to be holding on the receiving team. That's going to push them about half the distance to the goal. Going to put them on about the 7-8 yard line. It's got a long drive, 93 yards to go all the way to the end zone.
And, we've seen at least a couple times that they've had penalties on the punt. And so you're already putting yourself back. And now with that penalty, you're just making your job that much harder for your offense.
5 wide here. Scruggs dropping back, flips it out into the flats. Host of Eagles there. Gets back to the 11-yard line. Clock's going to be rolling. With this passing attack getting down the field, shouldn't be too hard, but this Eagles front 7 really creating a lot of pressure here for Scruggs, not being able to go through his read, see everything, and get the ball out of his hand.
The whole defense has done a really good job, and they're just swarming to the ball.
Gets it to his favorite target, Bolts out there, who does get out of bounds. However, gets out of bounds going backwards, which keeps the clock rolling. Referee keeping his arm rolling. 1:10 now to play in the half. Scruggs giving out commands to the O-line. Flips it out of his hands. Big hit there from looks to be number 38. Keyshawn Kingston with a big hit there to force the ball free for an incomplete pass. Clock stops at 1:02.
Great hit there. And just going back to that last play, you want to always make sure that you go forward in that because the clock was running and you don't want to put your team in a situation when you only have 1 timeout. You want to make sure that you have the opportunity to stay on the field.
Picked off there, cuts back across the field, Running behind his blockers. Pick 6 for the Eagles to close out this half. Under a minute left to play. Picked off by number 51, who unfortunately we do not have on the roster sheet. But nonetheless, a great play seeking underneath the slant route. Diving hard on the ball, picking it off, taking it all the way back to the end zone. And a big score there for the Eagles to put them up 3 scores after this PAT. The hold, the kick is good from number 92, Hayden Wynn. Hayden Wynn, 2 for 2 on the afternoon. 1 a PAT, 1 a field goal. That started the game. 50 seconds left here in this half. What'd you see on that play that stood out to you right there?
Well, just number 51, he did a great job at reading the quarterback's eyes. He's making sure that he's in a position, he's floating around, keeping his eye on the quarterback, and once he sees that he's throwing it, he jumps in front of it, and he follows his the blocks and finds the end zone. Just a great job, great defensive effort by number 51, who unfortunately we do not have his name at the moment, but just a great job by him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the defense there playing pretty much not necessarily prevent, but definitely don't want to get beat deep. The quarterback kind of just stared at him the whole time, and like you said, all he had to do was read his eyes, which he did very well. Picked it off, took it to the house. Now the Eagles are up 17-0 here in this first half. After their offense, it's kind of been halted. So it's always good to have a non-offensive touchdown,
Exactly.
Especially in a close game like this.
Now what do you do from the Knights standpoint? Because going into the second quarter, you've had a bunch of drives that haven't really gone your way.
A little bit of a squib kick there. Gets all the way back to the deep return man, and a big hit by number 58. Big hit by another person. Wait, no, we do have him. Clifford Amaker with the big tackle there on the coverage. Squib kick kind of made the blocks not get set up. Great job by him flying down the field, making a play. Keeping them back inside the 20. Scruggs is going to have to get his offense together here if they're trying to go down the field and get some points to close out the half. 44 seconds left. They have 1 timeout. Got to see them do a better job of getting out of bounds to kind of stop the clock, maybe give them a shot. Scruggs drops back, sees nothing, middle of the field, wide open. He takes off, and he's got plenty of room. Goes down at about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, great job by Scruggs there. It's actually something that I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of. Whenever they dialed up the read option a while ago, and he displayed great speed there. That's something that I think that they probably could take advantage of if they used it more often. Great
coverage there by number 30, Davion Jackson, getting his hand in there, jarring the ball loose. Back to that last play, like you said, though, Faulkner's in that 2 deep safety look where pretty much the deep middle of the field is kind of open at the moment. That's why he was able to get, just step up in the pocket, take off, and nobody was home because your outside backers are having to play the slant routes coming in, and he was like, 1 read, 2 read, time to go. Gets it out the hitch route there to number 37. Shaking off some tacklers, still going, finally brought down at the 49-yard line. 18 seconds left. The Knights are going to call a timeout, maybe try and have one final heave at the end zone. Not sure what their kicking situation is, but if they've got a pretty decent kicker, maybe 1 completion, 2 completion, get out of bounds, maybe spike it, and you're looking at possibly getting on the board here going into the half.
That's definitely the mindset that you normally would if you trust your kicker. If not, you're looking at Hail Mary time.
We have seen Hail Marys on this field before. If you go back to last year against Reinhardt, Faulkner threw a Hail Mary, caught with 20 seconds left. However, Reinhardt did respond, marched down the field, kicked a game-winning field goal. But it's not something out of the ordinary, especially Scruggs has the arm to do it. We've seen him take a couple deep shots already. Just got to end up connecting with one of his guys. But I think more importantly is the blocks up front, because the defensive line, and when they send heat, they don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, the defensive pressure from Faulkner has been there consistently. They have not given Scruggs the opportunity to get those deep passes. He's been having to settle for short options, which have been working effectively, but for the most part, it just hasn't been there.
Catches it there on the quick route for the first down.
Looks like they're calling incomplete pass,
Incomplete pass instead. 7.6 seconds. Looks like we're going to have one shot at the end zone here. 4th and 2, the down and distance really doesn't matter here. Probably only time for one play unless you somehow get out of bounds. Scruggs drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket. He's going to decide to run it himself. Gets out of bounds for the first down. 2 seconds left on the clock. Now is possibly Hail Mary time.
Yeah, good job by Scruggs there, paying attention, seeing that nothing's really open, and he's just trying to get the first down and just get as many yards as he can while also paying attention to the clock and making sure that he's got enough time for one more throw, one more heave toward the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably what we're going to see here. Faulkner going to the 3 deep safety look, definitely going on the snap, back pedal, try and not let anything get past them. Scruggs dropping back. Quick heave, just out of reach of Bolts, incomplete, and that's your half. 17-0 Eagles leading, headed into the break. We will be back to start the second half.
nurse who serves with compassion and purpose. Oh, and the facilities? They're state-of-the-art. We're talking a simulation lab and the tech that prepares you for the real world. You'll feel so ready when it's time to step into your first job. So if you're ready to start your journey in nursing, learn more at faulkner.edu/nursing. Hope to see you there. Bye!
Are you ready to take the next step in your education and career? Look no further than Faulkner University's diverse range of graduate programs. Our one-year MBA and MSM programs begin new classes every 5 weeks and offer a fast track to success, equipping you with the skills and knowledge you need to excel in today's competitive business world. If you're passionate about justice and the law, Faulkner Law is your gateway to a rewarding legal career. Our faculty and resources are second to none. Faulkner offers programs ranging from justice administration to counseling and psychology to education and biblical studies, providing the training and expertise to help you become the effective professional you want to be. The College of Health Sciences at Faulkner University offers a variety of programs, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech-language pathology, and physician assistant studies. With experienced faculty, state-of-the-art facilities, and a commitment to academic excellence, Faulkner University is where your graduate journey begins. Join us and become part of a vibrant academic community dedicated to your success. Visit faulkner.edu to explore our graduate programs and take the first step towards a brighter future. Faulkner University, your path to success, your future starts here.
championship game of the NAIA Division I tournament. Your champions are from Montgomery, Alabama, Faulkner University.
Hello, Faulkner Eagle fans. This is Mitch Henry, and I'm president of Faulkner University. Welcome to Billy Hillier Stadium and John Mark Stallings Field. It's a blessing to have you in this stadium and watching this game and these activities. We hope that you enjoy your safety. We hope that you enjoy a wonderful game and great sportsmanship. I wear a lot of hats at Faulkner University, but this season it's the fall, and I'm going to wear this hat and tell you guys we're so glad you're here, and soar Eagles!
She starred as DJ Tanner on the series Full House. She's a New York Times best-selling author, and she's coming to Montgomery for one night only.
I'm thrilled to be coming to Faulkner University for this year's annual benefit dinner.
Faulkner University presents Candace Cameron Bure, October 2nd at its annual benefit dinner. Tickets are on sale now. Order your tickets today at faulkner.edu.
It's going to be an inspiring evening, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
I wanted to take my career to a higher level, so I searched for an MBA program that fits my schedule, that's accredited, and aligns with my Christian values. I found the perfect MBA at Faulkner University. Faulkner's MBA program consists of 10 5-week courses completely online, and the quality of instruction is excellent. Imagine how earning your MBA degree can help boost your career and get you to where you want to be. Visit faulkner.edu/advance to learn how you can get started.
Training tomorrow's teachers, ministers, and scientists, guiding future business leaders to positively impact our global economy, teaching healthcare professionals to improve patient outcomes, coaching athletes to give their best on and off the field, men and women learning how to succeed wherever their dreams take them. That's Faulkner University. With over 70 degree offerings, you'll find your calling with on-campus and online classes that fit your schedule in a Christian learning environment. Faulkner University. Discover more at faulkner.edu.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after the half. We've got a 17-0 Eagle lead to start this second half. Will, what stood out to you here in the first half?
In the first half, we saw a very balanced approach from Faulkner, running the ball, passing the ball effectively, and it was just a really good job on both sides of the field, offensively and defensively. And so what we want to see from Faulkner is continuing that pace of offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. On the side of the Georgia Knights, they had a lot of promising drives that got cut back due to penalties or just missed opportunities. And so one of the things that they want to do is try to keep that momentum and keep those drives going, but have sustainability.
Yeah, absolutely. That Opening kickoff taken out to the 24-yard line. And for the Eagles today, we have our third quarterback in the game. Like we said was going to happen earlier, looks to be number 18, Taylor Keller, in the gun. Hands off to start his drive this afternoon. So far, we've seen Seth Lieburn, Grayson McManus, and now QB number 3 to get playing time is number 18, Taylor Keller. Catches a snap, little off-tackle run, not going anywhere, loss of 1. 2nd and 11 here for the Eagles.
Yeah, nowhere really to go, but it is a great chance. It's a great to see all these quarterbacks and players get these opportunities to showcase their abilities and to just gain these game reps.
Yeah, and it's good to see as we see a pass over the middle of the field. Great catch by number 43, Caleb Porch. Gets across and looks like the 35. Picks up a first down. Looks like we've got an injured player on the field. But like you said, yeah, great to see all these guys develop. And, another key thing is they're running the same offense that we see I guess you could call them the varsity team if you want to call them. We see the varsity team run on their game, so it's good to see them develop in the same system.
Exactly, and because it would be weird if you were running something different than what you're going to be preparing for once you get up to varsity. So the fact that they're learning the same thing, it just makes that transition that much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in the same film room with the same guys, and so when you're drawing up game plans, I'm not sure if they had any film on this, maybe a little bit of film, but either way, when they go and review this either tomorrow afternoon, Monday night, when they're doing their team meetings and film, they're going to see this, and it's a point to learn for not only the guys playing, but the guys that are going to play next Saturday against Thomas. That way they can both learn, because we've seen a lot of cover 2 out of this defense. We've seen a lot of man-to-man blitz, and you can only draw up so many defenses with 11 people. And so it's going to be good to see what works against what this defense is running, and maybe you can see some parallels with Thomas or maybe Southeastern in 2 weeks down the road.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Good to see the injured player get up, walk off under his own power. Like we said earlier, this heat is really getting to the players down on the field, especially with this turf. Amplifies the heat by about 10 to 20 degrees. Nonetheless, good to see injured player number 30, Marcus Tutt, walk off under his own power. He's made a lot of big plays here for the Knights. We hope to see him back in action very shortly. 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line for Taylor Keller running this offense. Catches a snap, hands it off. 37 bounces off a few blockers. About a 4-yard gain for Demetrius Davis, freshman out of Calera High School. Second and 6 here. Another off-tackle run here for Davis. Davis bouncing off tacklers, picks up a first down. Great job running after contact.
Yeah, great job. Those past 2 runs, just not being willing to go down, fighting for extra yardage, and moving those chains to keep this drive going.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we've seen all day, this running attack has really hurt this Knights defense. As now we see a wide bunch look. Keeler dropping back to pass, going to see his first pass attempt. He's going to get out and scramble. Hit from behind, ball's punched out, recovered by the Knights. Flag on the play, we'll see what that is. It looks like this play, however, will stand. Might have had a hold up front. Defense is going to trot back onto the field. Unfortunate start to Keller's day.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Keller there. He's trying to scramble, look around, and he just wasn't very careful with the ball. Hate to see, that drive come to a halt, but great job by the Knights there, forcing that fumble.
Yeah, absolutely. Textbook right there, coming up behind the ball carrier, getting your left arm in there, punching that ball out. Especially great job by reacting by the defense, because he really had a bunch of open space in front of him if it wasn't for him getting hit from behind. As now we'll see Scruggs in this Knights offense come back out, who has struggled so far today through the pick 6 late in the first half. But we have seen them with the ability to march down the field. What do you want to see here on the opening drive?
I want to see him have some confidence here. There were a lot of past drives that did not go his way. But I think just show that level of confidence that he has in his guys, and that they've been close. So just keep going.
He ripped the ball out, going back down the other way. A big stiff arm. Tackled inside the 15-yard line. Scruggs stepped up. Plenty of room to run. Met by the linebacker. A pile started up, and 54 ripped the ball out. Tristan Tapia, the sophomore from Mars Hill, ripped the ball out, went the other way. And how about that stiff arm?
And, I mean, like, if you're Scruggs, you know, as I was saying, like, that's exactly what you don't want to have happen. But what a great defensive effort there. Getting the ball, getting your hand in there, stripping the ball out, and the yards after, like, just it was great.
A little bit of a Derrick Henry stiff arm there, throwing him down to the ground. And this is what you want to see, especially if you're Taylor Keller, getting your offense back on the field in great field position, especially after that early second-half fumble, as the first play is a handoff to number 36. Looks to be ZJ Dale with his first carry. Second carry here. Slips off a tackler and into the end zone. ZJ Dale is in for 6 for the Eagles. Make it 23-0. Defense set that one up there.
Yeah, great job by Dale there. Not letting the first guy get him down and just powering his way through into the end zone. All the running backs have done a great job today, and that's just a great credit to the offensive line there, opening those holes.
Yeah, absolutely. I really can't think of too many times today as that PAT is blocked, picked up, and they're going to run the other way with it. Looks like he's going to have a free run to the end zone off the blocked PAT, and that will be 2 points for the Knights, their first 2 points of the afternoon. Bad snap there. Holder couldn't quite get it down. You know, that's such a timing thing. You got to get the ball down because your kicker's going on the snap, and when the ball rolls back there like we just saw, it's just an easy block like we just saw.
That's right. And, you know, now we see the Knights, they have some points on the board. Maybe they can, you know, it's demoralizing to see that 0 on the scoreboard. And so now you see some points on the board. Carry this momentum into this next drive because, like we've been saying all day, they've been close. They've been unfortunate with these past few drives.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, maybe not seeing that 0 on the board, like you said, maybe starts to put some fight into this team. Like we saw with Faulkner, it's taken 2 or 3 tacklers to tackle them. And, you know, like you said, running through contact, punishing the defense like we've been seeing. Maybe we can see the Knights start to do that. Little pooch kicked about the 12-yard line. Great coverage there by the kickoff team, and the Knights will have the ball at the, looks to be 23-yard line. Scruggs is going to come back out here for his second drive of the half. Correction, looks like we have a new quarterback coming out for the helm of this Knights offense. Looks to be number 12, Elijah Burrell. Scruggs had his struggles today. Maybe Burrell can help move this offense into the end zone as he catches the first snap with a handoff. Counter play, getting to the outside. Safety, last line of defense, able to make the tackle. First down for the Knights.
Yeah, Scruggs, he definitely has had his up and down moments throughout this game. And so maybe number 12, Elijah Burrell, can find a spark in this offense. As we just saw on that first play, the handoff, getting that first down. It was a great run by the running back with his vision.
Nicholas Daugherty with the carry there. Now they're going to flip an RPO out to number 5, Roquan Washington. Tackled by number 53 and Keon Henson. The defensive end, great speed there, great awareness getting out on the RPO to the boundary, making the play. Going to be 2nd and 5 here. 2nd and 4 here instead. Back to that empty look like we've seen all day from the Knights. Looks like they're going man-to-man on the defense. Might see some heat here. If you're the quarterback here, you've got to get the ball out of your hands fast so you don't take another sack. They drop back into coverage. Looks like it might have thrown Burrell off a little bit. Nonetheless, a 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, we saw him. He hesitated there for a minute. He had that pump fake, maybe trying to cause the defense to bite. But just good job getting the ball to his receiver and making this 3rd down a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you go 5 wide like this and you see pressure, the quarterback knows his hot read and how to get the ball out of his hands fast. When they slipped underneath and dropped into coverage, it looks like it might have thrown him off a bit, and that's what caused the pump fake. Great job there picking up the 1st down, keeping the drive going on the quarterback draw. 5 minutes into this 3rd quarter, 23-2 lead for the Eagles. If you're just now joining us, you've missed a dominated first half from the Faulkner defense. Faulkner's defense thus far has not surrendered any points, had a goal line stand, a pick 6, and a fumble that last drive. Thrown across the middle of the field. Caught there by number 23, Dennis Brooks, for a 1st down for the Knights.
Yeah, another great read there by Elijah Burrell. He's showing confidence in his guys, and he's doing a great job leading them down the field.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like we've seen, and like we've talked earlier, this Faulkner team's really just sitting in that 2 safety look, which kind of leaves the middle of the field open. Great job by Burrell to see it and fire it in there. So we've now got a 1st and 10. Flips it to the slant route. Dropped by Blake Boast, who's been the number 1 target for the Knights today. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Looks like Burrell was trying to get a little bit of his Patrick Mahomes on there right there with that little sidearm pass. But
yeah, tried to find the throw-in lane. But, you know, great coverage by the DB there to punch that one out. 9 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. There's still time left for the Knights to mount a comeback, but the tempo needs to be picked up a little bit, and the emphasis on the hurry needs to be picked up a little bit if you're trying to get down, especially down 3 scores here in the 2nd half. Burrell drops back, flips it out to his running back. Washington trying to make some defenders miss. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and is dropped. Looks like we've got a Knight down on the field. We'll step away 3rd and 9 when we return. Injured player number 53, Brandon Smith, able to get up and walk off under his own power. Looks like he got rolled up on there with the inside run. Hopefully he's okay. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and wishing him a speedy recovery, hoping to see him back in this game. 3rd and 9, 5 wide for the Knights. Quick pass there to Boast, and it's incomplete. Brings up 4th and 9, probably going to go for it here. They do not. They're going to send the punt team out, punt the ball back to the Eagles offense.
It was a great job by the Faulkner defense there. I mean, they've just been doing a great job all day, not giving the quarterback time to throw the ball. And, I mean, he did get it to the receivers. Unfortunate that, he had that drop there. But if he had a little bit more time, maybe he puts it in a better position for the receiver there.
Looks like they're trying to sort out the punt team, running a player on late. Forces the Knights to have to call a timeout. We'll step away for a moment. Punting unit out for the Knights, 4th and 9. Faulkner in the safety look, making sure a fake doesn't sneak past them. Punt is booted away. Davion Jackson will fair catch, called at the 10. The Faulkner offense will trot out 90 yards to go down the field. Looks like Taylor Keeler will return at QB. We saw him first drive, had the fumble. Second drive, had the short field. Just 3 run plays for the touchdown. What do you want to see from him here on drive number 3?
I want to see him, put that fumble behind you and just go out there with that confidence. This is a new drive, and just go out there and get it to your guys and strive to be methodical in your passes and run the ball effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. Handoff there. Carry forward number 36, Z.J. Dale, who had the touchdown last drive. A little bit of tempo here, 2nd and 1. Keeler catches the snap, back to the same inside zone play. Dale bounces it outside, still going. Met by a host of Knights. Tackle made at the 24-yard line. We haven't seen very many passes since Seth Liebern was in the game, and part of the reason is probably because this run game has just been so effective.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, too, when you're looking at the score, you don't really need to throw the ball. They've got a comfortable lead, and so there's not really a need to force the ball down the field, especially when your running game has been so effective.
Yeah, absolutely. You're playing with the lead here. You want to, number 1, take care of the football, and you're number 2, not want to give them a short field, especially to a struggling offense, which the Knights have had today. Keeler's going to step out the pocket. Big tackle from the DB there. in the one-on-one open field. Something we've not seen the Knights do well today is open field tackling, but great job there by number 27, Nathaniel Niebert. 3rd and 14 here. 6:50 left to play in the third. Keeler gets his signals, communicates with his own line. Catches a snap, fires out quickly. Caught by number 87, Jamar Fitch, his first target of the afternoon, pushed out of bounds. 4th and 9, and the punting unit is going to come on. Great drive there from the Georgia Knights defense, surrendering the one first down, but then two big plays. First, the one with the tackle made in the backfield. Second, with the tackle made on the QB in open space. What do you want to see from the offense here for the Knights?
For the Knights, I want to see the quarterback not lose his confidence. I think that's something that it's been repeated, but confidence at quarterback is the most important thing in football. Not losing, not wavering, that confidence, because when your quarterback is rattled, your offense, they can tell. And you want to make sure that the quarterback stays confident and that his guys still have that faith in him and that they can still push the ball down the field and that they believe that they can have success.
Yeah, absolutely. Got an injured player on the field. Number 0, Courtney Frazier, just seems to be some cramps. But like we said earlier, this heat's really getting to these players. Hoping he's okay down on the field. But, yeah, like you said earlier, when you're playing quarterback, it's often said you got to have a short memory, especially with the turnovers we've seen from this team today, the several incompletions, no rhythm from the offense. Got to have a short memory there. And like you said, got to have that confidence. You got to know what you did in practice all week, what you've done in fall camp this summer and stuff like that, to where you can come out and you know that you can go down the field and put up points.
That's exactly right. And that's something that we really haven't seen from the quarterbacks today, or at least we haven't seen a lot from Burrell yet, but from Scruggs, it seemed like he was rattled at times. He would go for really good drives, but then something would happen. Like he would fumble, or the penalties would negate these plays, and he never could find that rhythm. And so Burrell, he may be that answer. We'll see if he can try to put this drive together and find more rhythm in the passing game.
We'll step away as they tend to play to the player on the field. Back after the short break, Frazier able to get up, walk off under his own power, most likely cramps there. Hopefully they can get that 10-2. He's okay. Knights out on offense. Burrell dropping back to pass in the 5 wide. Big pass rush there. Scrambling. Gets about a 6-yard gain there on the quarterback scramble. Under 5:30 left to play here in the third. 23-2 Faulkner.
There's a great awareness there by Burrell. He didn't have time to stay in the pocket. The pass rush got to him, and so he took what the defense gave him and got that second and manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they only sent 3. Faulkner only sent 3, and just great pressure by that defensive line to fight their way in there. Inside handoff now. Number 37 makes a great cut. Flag thrown, most likely a hold. However, number 37, Nicholas Daugherty, picks up the first down for the moment. Referee keeping the chains in place. This one's most likely coming back with a hold.
It seems like, this has kind of been the pattern here. The Knights, they've had great opportunities. They've had good momentum going into these drives, but what happens? Penalties, negative plays, they stunt and keep them from moving forward. And so all these negative plays, they're drive killers.
Yeah, absolutely. Your 3 biggest drive killers are penalties, like you said, negative plays, and drops. Those 3 can kill you. And so hopefully they can get this sorted out. They've got 2nd and 16 now, backed up onto the 37-yard line. Inside handoff there. Tackle made by a host of Eagles. Number 97, the senior Tyler Brown, seems to be the leading force on that last play.
Yeah, that's an area where Faulkner can really pride itself is its run defense. The Knights have not been able to run anywhere today. And so great job by Coach Brown and the Faulkner defensive staff in getting these guys ready.
Burrell drops back to pass, looking for a lane, steps up, flicks it downfield, had his man, just overthrew him. Number 23, Dennis Brooks, was his intended target. Couldn't put it on him. Ends up 4th and 14. Looks like they're going to trot the punting unit out onto the field. Number 30, Davion Jackson, will be back deep to receive for the Eagles. Eagles look to be in the punt block. A little bit of miscommunication, had to run one more blocker onto the field. Faulkner's coming after this one. Snap to the punter. Almost blocked. Sky-high kick. Lands at about the 39-yard line. Rolls all the way to the 31, and that's where the Eagles will set up shop here with 3:34 left in the third quarter. Faulkner offense huddling up. Looks like we got number 16, Seth Lieburn, ready to command this offense. We saw him for 3 drives in the first quarter, and, just kind of the rotation, like we said earlier, of getting a lot of guys in. Haven't seen him since. He led the offense to a field goal and then to a touchdown, and then his day was kind of finished until now. He's thrown back in here. He's going to pull it. Quick RPO. Big catch by number 14. Not on the list, but nonetheless moves the chains for a first down. Got an offensive lineman down cramping. Good to see Lieburn stretching him out before the trainers get there.
Yeah, that was a great read by Lieburn there. When you have the RPO, you've got that run pass option. you get to choose to run it or pass it. He made the correct decision there, and I've just really enjoyed watching Liebern here and his command. He certainly seems to have a command of this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, the RPO, we saw the outside linebacker commit to the run, which if I was the outside linebacker after probably 100 run plays in the past 3 or 4 drives, I'd be committing to. And it's a great job and awareness by him, knowing what he did in practice, knowing what he's seen on film, pulling it, flipping it to the receiver, picking up a first down. Number 70, Grayson Tingle, able to walk off under his own power, like we said earlier, most likely just cramping in this heat. Good to see him up and moving. Hopefully we see him back out shortly. Liebern in the gun. Catches the snap, drops back, flips it quickly back out to number 14 again, who fights his way for another first down. Chains moving.
Yeah, great read there, great throw, great catch. Number 14, making 2 consecutive catches, just getting the momentum rolling for Faulkner and moving those chains. Great to see number 14 getting some action.
Yeah, and it's a great job by the offensive coordinator too. Your quarterback has sat since the first quarter. Great to see him, 2 quick and easy throws, some easy reads to get him back acclimated to this game as he's going to drop back to pass here. Steps up in the lane, going to be taken down by number 44. Looks like he's banged up, able to get up. Good to see him up and moving. Just probably a little bit of an awkward hit there. Just got rolled up on. 2nd and 5 now for the Eagles. Liebern on the attack. Catches the snap, handoff to number 39, Dylan Smith. Met by a host of Knights. Still up. Whistle is blown. And one thing we've seen from Dylan Smith is running behind his pads.
Oh, yeah. And Dylan Smith, he's not the biggest of guys, but he will make his presence known. He was not willing to go down on that drive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's taken several Knights to tackle these Faulkner running backs all day today, and that carry was not any different. Got a Knight down on the far side of the field. Referees blow their whistles. Probably just the dehydration and heat, but we will step away as the trainers tend to him. Injured player able to walk off under his own power. By the new college rule, a timeout was charged to the defense. Knights now down to 1 timeout. Minute 40 left. Hitch route quickly complete to number 85, Dustin May. Dustin May gets the first down. Chain still moving. Lieburn continues to dice up this defense. Quick pass after quick pass. Now 1st and 10. Austin Crittenden in the backfield. Lieburn drops the snap, picks it up, tackled in the backfield for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, just mishandled the snap there. That's actually, one of the first real mistakes that we've seen from Lieburn this afternoon. So he'll shake that off, and we'll see how he handles that.
Yeah, just, it was a little bit of high snap, and you've got to go get the ball down quickly to the running back. Drops back the pass. Running back was not looking. Ball was batted down. We'll bring up 3rd and 13.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there between the quarterback and running back there, maybe thinking he was supposed to get a little bit higher up into his route before the ball would be coming. But Lieburn, he had to get the ball out.
Yeah, looks like the Eagles are going to take this one to the 4th quarter. We'll step away for a moment. Fourth quarter underway here, 23-2, Faulkner Eagle lead. Lieburn catches the snap, drops out, flips it out for a screen pass. Number 32 makes a man miss. Amari Griffin with the reception. Runs behind his blockers, gets all the way down to, looks like the 18-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great job. Checking down to the running back. He had pressure in his face, but he got it complete to the running back there. And it looks like Faulkner's going to go. There's really no reason not to. So good stuff by Faulkner.
Lieburn looking for a man. Going to fling it over the middle of the field. Intercepted by the Knights. Can't tell who quite made the interception. Looks to be number 32, Maxwell Young. Great job sinking underneath the post route. In the scramble drill, in the stat sheet, that's going to go down as an interception. It's going to look like a negative, but there's no reason to take a sack there, no reason to throw the ball away. Just kind of throw it up. Hopefully your man can come down with it, which is what he did, which is what he's taught to do. And so Yes, it was an interception, but he did do the right thing because 4th down, just got to try and see somebody make a play.
Yeah, on 4th down, you're on this side of the field. It's basically like an arm punt for real. So he made the right decision, and so you're not really worrying about that one too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Burrell with the handoff, 4-yard gain to start this drive off for the Knights. Second and 6 here. Maybe that interception can spark the offense for the Knights. Been very quiet today. Burrell catches the snap, drops back to pass. Looking over the middle of the field. Rolling out, scramble drill. Just missed his target for the incompletion.
Yeah, it was a good job by Burrell there getting out of the pocket because he was in danger of the sack there by number 53, causing that pressure. But Burrell, he was just a little bit inaccurate on that pass and was not able to get it to his receiver.
Yeah, and, not really a reason to kind of bail there. The linemen had their blocks, and I guess it's just mental clock as the quarterback was starting to expire, so he decided to kind of scramble and get out of there. Especially with, this Faulkner D-line, it's kind of the first time we've seen good blocks from the old line as that one's bobbled out of his hands. He rolls out, flings it downfield, almost connected with number 89.
Yeah, and to your point there, this Faulkner D-line has been causing pressure for everyone, right, for both quarterbacks. And so when you're already having that mindset of, oh, I have to get the ball out quick, or, oh, I have to get out of the pocket, that's going to be your first instinct, even if you don't actually have to get out of the pocket yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to end up being 4th down. Would have been a big play there, just out of reach of his intended target, number 89. Going to see the punt team out here again. Eagles all up on the line, looking to come after this one. Gets a good jump off. Can't get there. A little bit of a flop there by the punter, trying to sell the roughing the punter. Nonetheless, a great kick and a great Georgia Knight roll all the way down to the 36-yard line.
Punter, he needs to get himself an Emmy for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to be up for an award. Trying to sell that one there, except the referee, of course, didn't buy it.
Did not buy it.
Under 11 minutes left to play in this 4th quarter. Liebern back in the huddle, gonna be at the helm for this offense for their second drive, or for his second drive of this second half. Referees running the clock. Both teams probably trying to get out of here, get out of this heat as fast as possible. Liebern with the RPO there. Tried to flip it out to his receiver, but great coverage by number 24, Jamal Middleton.
Yeah, great job by the DB there, sticking to his receiver, making sure that he could not catch the ball, getting his hand in there and disrupting that pass. Yeah,
absolutely. Liebern loves that RPO, just it seems the DB kind of read his eyes there like you were talking about earlier, jumped on it there. 2nd and 10 now. Liebern with the handoff there to number 36, Z.J. Dale. Z.J. Dale carries it all the way for the 1st down.
This is something that the Faulkner offense has done a really good job of today, just running the ball, whether it be inside, outside, just wearing this Knights defense down. They've done a really, really good job of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we see there, another carry for Dale. This one, bouncing off a tackler, getting about a 7-yard gain, brings up 2nd and 3. Liebern looking to the sideline to get his signals. 9 minutes left here in this game. Stretch play to Dale. Great tackle by the safety there. Number 3, Marcus Mitchell. Dale picks up the first down, and the clock's rolling.
Yeah, great runs there by Dale, moving the chains, and looks like he's now getting a chance to have a breather there with number 32 coming in.
Yeah, Amari Griffin coming in. We've seen several backs in action, running backs and quarterbacks. Just want to keep your legs fresh, develop like we've been talking about. Maybe they can make an impact for their team later on in the season. Griffin cuts back on the counter, turning his legs.
Yeah, look at that power.
Still up. No one's blown the whistle, and he's still going. All the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Faulkner Eagles. How about that run?
Wow. What a run. That's what you play. That's what you're taught. You don't quit until you hear the whistle blow.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense, it was a great form tackle, wrapped him up. However, he probably rolled off of him and kept going. One of those rare things we see. And like you said, you play till the whistle is blown, and it ends up being a touchdown for the Eagles. His first rushing touchdown on the day. Hayden went in to attempt the extra point. Wynn's kick is up and good. That will make it 30-2. Faulkner Eagles with the lead. Clock rolling down to 7 minutes left to play. Just a great rushing attack we've seen all day from this Eagle offense.
Yeah, it's been really, really good, Judd. And it's been from everyone. Everyone has chipped in. You have Dylan Smith. You have Austin Crittenton. You have all of these guys. DJ. They've all showed up, and they've all contributed. And it just shows how great the offensive line has been blocking for him. The receivers, they've all been playing together as a unit.
Yeah, absolutely. You have 4 running backs we've seen play today. 3 of them have touchdowns. So it just goes to show you that the depth of this room and what that can do for you, especially in the later stages of this game where your defense is starting to tire out, especially a team that doesn't have many players on the roster. When you start rotating in fresh legs after fresh legs, you just wear them down, and you see a big play like that really solidifies that not a 1-2 punch, but a 1-2-3-4 punch running back room that this Eagles offense has. Under 6 minutes now to play. The Knights will get the ball back. Maybe hoping to kind of strike up a drive, maybe something they can take a look at going into this next week, something that they did well and into their next game.
Yeah, at this point, you're just trying to build on to next week. Try to build some momentum and try to get into a position where you have something good to talk about on film for next week.
Yeah, jet sweep there to number 8, Jalen Reeder, lower in the shoulder. Getting a little chippy here. Referee separating it. 5 minutes now to play. Burrell commanding his offense, getting the signals in the split back look. Another handoff to number 8. Gets around the edge, pushed out of bounds for a first down.
Yeah, good run there by number 8. Just following his blocks and getting to the outside and picking up that first.
Yeah, tackle made by number 31, Alvin Amaker. .4:15 left to play. Still the split back look for the Knights. Seen some success with these runs. Going the other way this time to Washington. Washington stopped in the backfield by number 53, Keon Henson, and he'll be dropped for a loss.
This Faulkner defense, the thing that has impressed me the most so far has just been their toughness and just winning the line of scrimmage, and not like it just seems like they haven't gotten tired, right? Like we're in the closing minutes of this game, and they're still winning the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely. .3:30 left to play, 2nd and 11. Another handoff to Washington. Slips into the second level. Pulled down by number 42, Irvain Reynolds. Third and 3 here. 3 minutes to play. It's been a hot clock ever since the fourth quarter started. Burrell getting his signal. This could be a big play here. You know, you're trying to take something into the next week, and a successful drive here to end the game would surely be that.
That's exactly right. You know, you want to have as many positives as possible, and so just take those lessons, and, you know, you can learn from both the negative and the positive. So there's definitely going to be learning lessons through this game that they're going to take advantage of and learn from going into next week.
Yeah, Burrell's pass just a little bit high of the slant route. Going to be 4th down here, obviously going for it. 4th and 3. Looks like they're going to run this all the way to the 2-minute timeout. Looks like they're going to let the clock keep rolling. Handoff to Washington. Not going to get there. A 4th down stop for the Eagles, and that should do it for this game.
That 4th down stop there, you know, it kind of just encapsulates the state of this game. All right, Faulkner has dominated the line of scrimmage throughout this entire game, and so it just encapsulates and just kind of demonstrates how they've been doing this whole game, just winning the line of scrimmage, being physical, and dominating their opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. Lieberman going to come in here. Not sure if he's going to need, if we're going to see maybe some runs. Under 1:10. Going to be a quick stretch play to Dylan Smith. He's going to be tackled for a quick 6-yard gain. Under 1 minute now to play, and, you know, just what a great performance we've seen from the Eagles today.
Yeah, great job. All the quarterbacks, they showed great promise today. The running backs, all 4 of them just did really, really well. The offensive line, just the team played as a unit today.
Yeah, absolutely. Lieberman will take that final snap, knee it to the ground, and the clock will run out, and that will do it. A 30-2 win from the Eagles, powered by that 4-headed monster they have in the backfield. The next game we'll have here at Billy D. Hillier Stadium will not be until September 20th, as number 17 Southeastern will come to town and play the Eagles. And then the Futures game will be the very next day, and the Futures team will take on Tennessee Valley Prep on Sunday the 21st at 1:30. Thank you all for being with us today. I'm Judd Bailey alongside Will Lucas, along with our entire FSN production crew. Have a great rest of your college football Saturday.